it's not me. It's not what I want to do. You are a servant of the people, and that's something that's gotten lost over time. The question should be, how are you going to listen to the citizens, and how are you going to help affect change that they want?
Welcome to the FocalFlip podcast. Every week we take a deep dive into the mystery and stigma behind mental health and explore real-life stories of struggle and triumph. We aim to educate and encourage others as we bring together a diverse group of guests. From the streets to sanctuaries, classrooms to boardrooms, mental health does not discriminate, neither do we. Prepare to laugh, prepare to cry, prepare to be changed. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the FocalFlip podcast. My name is Mike. I'm an alcoholic and the host and a coach, consultant, whatever y'all want to call it. Today I'm blessed with the presence of Matt Fehler. Matt, hello, how are you?
I'm good. How you been lately? Anyway?
Dude, I'm doing good.
It seems like it. This is a great show, man. I've been following it. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, you've given me some shout outs, and I appreciate that support more than you can imagine.
Oh, man.
Seriously, because it's been a journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you see something that's worth mentioning, You're cool. Definitely reaching out to people, and I love it. And you're making things known to people who otherwise wouldn't know things exist. And it's knowing personally people that have issues and stuff, and had issues in the past. It's really great to see somebody like you that's really trying to make awareness of it. And,
yeah, thank you.
And not only that, you're trying to help the people who are in these struggles.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that very much. That is 100% what I'm trying to do. So I'm glad that it comes across that way, and I want it to always come across like that too, and
it does.
So thank you. That was very humbling to start this off with. You hit me hard, hit me right in the feels. Thanks a lot. Two emotional people, folks. So go ahead and tell you we're two emotional people. But I'm going to go ahead and give you kind of the layout real quick. The shirt that he's wearing right now says "Vote" at the top left. Matthew Fehler for Independent City Council. Matt is a local guy. I know his family. I know his wife and her family. Matt's actually has a lot of friends, similar friends, very similar interests. He was with the police force for a while, which I have quite a few friends from there, So I've kind of gotten to know who what Matt's personality and character was within the community. Just in general, and then I move away and go to Boone County for a while, and then I come back and I'm getting reacclimated, and I just hear a lot of great things about Matt. And
I appreciate it.
So when I see a familiar name that pops up that says they want to make a significant decision in their life, like say for example running for city council, for me and where I'm at on my journey, that's fascinating to me. It's honorable and admirable, but it makes me want to I like to see the whys, Yeah. And then I want to highlight you, so that way you have something that we can go with and you can go with, that people within the community can see.
Yeah.
And they can see who you are as a person and where you come from and whatnot. And we're going to try to do it in a small amount of time, but I wanted to lay it out that way, so then you can kind of take the reins.
Yeah, I'd love to, and I appreciate the opportunity to get my message out there. If I can start from the beginning, if that's okay.
Yeah, dude, go with it. This your shine.
There's two parts of reason why I'm wanting to do this. The biggest, I'm goal oriented, always have been. And it stems from this whole career of mine stemmed from when I was like 8 or 9 years old. Anybody in my family will tell you, and they laugh when you hear an 8-year-old say the things that I'm getting ready to tell you. But they asked me, what I wanted to do, and I always told them 3 things. I said, first thing is I wanted to be a police officer at Independence. The second thing, I wanted to be a detective at Independence. And the third thing is I wanted to be mayor of Independence.
Wow.
So, and I was a young kid. And
how old? 8?
I was about 8 or 9. I was watching. So it all stems from 2 shows, okay? It's the Dukes of Hazzard and Matlock. So Dukes of Hazzard is, my family always called me Boss Hog. So, and of course, that was the mayor of, Hazard. And I always wanted, since they called me, I always wanted to be the mayor. And then I always wanted to be a cop. And I used to get upset that they would never let the sheriff catch the Duke boys just once. I used to get upset about that. And so that's the child version of like where, what started this all for me.
Wow.
But over the years, I just living and growing up this whole time in Independence, I love this city.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say I love it, I mean, people don't understand. I'm involved in a lot. I go do fundraising events, charities. I delivered for years at the police department. We'd always do the turkey runs where we'd take food to people for Thanksgiving, and I was involved in like the toy drives and stuff for Christmas, and I'm always trying to remain, and it's not so much relevant, just remain significant to the city as a really active member, because I love the city so much, and I want to keep that heart of Independence, to remain. So, having said that, the heart of Independence I have seen, over the years kind of dwindle a little bit, and that's just because of the development and everything. And I'm not saying I'm against development, because development's going to come no matter what.
Sure.
But
it's inevitable, right?
It needs thoughtful development. Okay. You need development that has a meaning, not to me, and not to the mayor or the people at the city. Which I'm not saying anything bad about them. They're great. It's just it needs thoughtful change, and it needs to be meaningful to the citizens. Mm-hmm. It needs to mean something to them. These parks and everything that are going up, they're great. But I would also like to see, things that give kids something to do other than the park. Because there's teenagers, they're not going to go to the park other than after hours and stuff to hang out.
Yeah.
So just like...
You probably learned that as a police officer for sure, huh?
I learned that as a kid as well. When I was a kid. But, get a bowling alley and an arcade, like all in one here somewhere. Get something fun for kids to do and hang out. We're already losing our skating rink. Unfortunately, they're gone now, and it was great. Kids loved that.
Independence Gateway.
Yeah. We lost that because of the new road coming in, and they're not going to rebuild. I already talked with them. Like I say, I remain vigilant, and I talk to if anything that I know is good with the community, I try to talk with them and just see what they're taking, if they're planning on rebuilding. So over the years, that kind of played the second part of my drive, and I thought, I need to, in order to run for mayor one day, I'm going to have to get involved more on the city side rather than because when I was police, I knew everything that went law enforcement wise,
sure.
But I didn't know what was going on the city side. I didn't know how that was ran and different things. So I always asked questions to the city manager and asked questions to other people just to try to learn that. Things that I didn't know. I'm always trying to learn.
Yeah.
It's the only way you grow in this life. And so I asked them questions. I learned some of the things that was going on, but not fully. So I thought I need to start off just like anybody starts at the bottom, they work their way up. I need to start from the ground up so I can learn what the problems are that I may not be aware of now. And I need to help from that point on, build my way up until I can get the chance to run for mayor, and hopefully I would, because I believe that I'd be a great mayor. I love the city, I love its citizens, and one of the biggest problems that, and I'm not saying I don't ever talk dirty or bad about anybody, because
sure.
The council members we have are, fantastic from the ones I've talked to and stuff. It's just, one thing I've always seen is when somebody questions you about why you want to be a council member, what are you going to change? I don't think that's the right question to ask.
Okay,
because,
there we go, Matt.
Yeah, it's not the right question to ask me, because it's not me. It's not what I want to do. You are a servant of the people, and that's something that's gotten lost over time. The question should be, how are you going to listen to the citizens, and how are you going to help affect change that they want? And the only way to do that is to truly take note and listen to what they want. Be a real advocate for the people, and actually obviously you can't change everything everybody wants, There's going to be somebody that's always going to be upset or mad. But if you can get enough people to come in and talk about the real problems, and if they feel comfortable with you enough and they think that you're really going to listen, you're going to get more people coming in and talking to you. And then you can gauge the volume of who wants what and why, and
Sure.
you can get the whys and the hows and put something together, and you can start affecting real change that people really want. And you're really, truly, for one time in your life, you're working for the people,
So that doesn't happen through like council meetings currently, or like what is it?
So
you're saying like it's kind of lost that, kind of explain it a little bit farther.
I think it's lost. I think it's lost it a little bit. And like I said, I've went to council meetings on my own as well, and I see that they do try there, and there's a lot of issues that come up. I just don't think there's enough awareness for people's invitation to come to these council meetings. I don't think there's enough enough comfortability, because people don't want to. They're afraid to get up there and say something, and afraid of what they might sound like, or if they sound goofy, or they're afraid of what somebody might say.
They're afraid of judgment.
Yeah, they're afraid of judgment. They don't have the
or intimidation too. Or
absolutely. So I think that
that sucks.
To get people confident in themselves and comfortable with you is a huge step. And that's why I wanted to be on here today. I wanted to kind of get the message out, like, I'm just like you. I'm just like anybody else. I'm the truest of true that you're ever going to get. I don't lie to people. I tell them what's on my mind, and I try to see every side of any issue. That's how I lived my life as a police officer. Anybody who has ever, I've had people hug me and shake my hand when I've taken them to jail, just because I listened to them.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for that service too.
No problem. I appreciate it.
I got no problem with the boys in blue, man. They go through a lot.
I miss it every day. I love my brothers and sisters, and I miss the camaraderie. I miss going into work and seeing their smiling faces. There's a lot I miss about the job, but there's a lot about my new career that I love too, because unfortunately, when you're a detective and you show up somebody's house, they're not happy to see you. Not
very often.
but when you're a real estate agent and you're showing up to show people houses, they love you. They're happy. They're ready to go see their future home. And I've taken my selflessness into this job as well, because I won't let people buy a house that I truly don't think it's going to work for them. Like, I beg them. I've lost deals on a house.
Thank you for that, for being honest and real with them.
Oh, trust me, I've lost deals, and anybody that I've sold a house to, or we've sold their house, you can look on review. You can ask them. They'll straight up tell you that there's been a couple of them that I said, this, please, and they loved the house. And I was like, please don't. I just got a bad feeling about this house. I don't think it's going to serve your best interest. I think it's going to cost some unexplained money we don't see right now. Yeah. I just have a bad feeling. And luckily, the one, I only have proof on one. The one particular one that they didn't end up buying, and somebody else bought it, and there was $15,000 they ended up having to pay on something that was unseen and wasn't caught on the inspection. And those people, I only found out because those people called me, because they happened to know the person who ended up buying it, and they called me and they're like, "Oh my God, thank you, Matt, for talking us out of that." Wow. And I was like, "Why? What happened?" They told me, and they told me, and this kind of made me humbling, but they told me I will never use another realtor. I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's an awesome story. Where does that intuition, where do you think that intuition comes from?
I don't know.
For you personally,
I guess from my dad, like I don't know a lot about work on the house, but if you've ever seen my house, you see a lot of stuff I've done on my own, and it was guesswork, Google work, YouTube.
Yeah.
But my dad, he's just watching him do foundations and bricklaying and concrete work over the years, and me helping him, being the guy who mixes the concrete, mixes the mortar, and does all that. Over the years, I've seen things that he's done, and I've seen things that he's pointed out, repairs that he's done.
And they stuck with you, huh?
And it kind of stuck with me, and things that I seen that just didn't look right. And evidently, like that was the thing, when I would go on a job with him, help him out, he'd point at something, and I'm like, I thought that didn't look right, and just kind of helped me out over it helped build a foundation for me to kind of, for this job, it ended up being great. It's helped me out a lot.
Very cool.
But
tells me that you're definitely genuine and authentic.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I mean, so you probably feel convicted on stuff like everything probably for you has to be a clean slate.
Yeah.
You don't want an ounce of dirtiness to feel anything? Really? Or,
yeah.
Are you like that?
Huh?
Are you like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, I definitely like clean. I like clean. I don't like. I mean, heck, I don't even like.
We're all not perfect, but that's what we want. But
yeah. Oh,
I'm listening.
I even So if people like you owe somebody this. I don't like owing favors. People.
Same, dude.
So I'm really hard to ask for help with stuff. Like if I'm working on something in the backyard, my wife has reached out to people before and said, "Hey, can you come help him before he kills himself?"
Good for
trying
you,
to do this,
Amanda.
And I just don't like owing people favors because I don't want people to feel like. Because I'll go do stuff for people all the time. Like my friend Josh Black, I've love him to death. I've helped him move many times, and and he's given me favors and he's helped me out lots of times in return. But I don't like the feeling that to owe somebody something. I don't like the feeling.
It sucks.
It does.
I had it for years, Matt.
Yeah. And
it was insurmountable. I'll never want to experience that again.
It's terrible feeling like when you owe something. I mean, hell, I don't even like to owe credit cards. Like it makes me uncomfortable. Like I want to get it paid so I don't have to worry about it. And people would
cool.
I mean, how many DVDs I lost over the years just because people would borrow them, and I didn't want to feel like they had to come back and bring it back, so I would never even call them. I would just lose it. Amanda used to get so mad about that.
Were you a doormat? What are you, a doormat?
Pretty much.
But awesome.
I love people, and I don't care. I'd rather them have than me. I'd rather them have. If I can give them
leader,
something,
huh?
Yeah.
That's good for you, man.
Amanda gets mad about it sometimes because just like today, if I can go in real quick, I was leaving Kroger's and there's a kid out there selling his chocolate bars, and I couldn't leave it. I didn't have $1 and I couldn't leave them. There's 3 kids out there selling them. I was like, my heart, man, it just hurts. Like I was like, oh man, those poor kids. Like, and everybody's just walking past them, and like me, I was just another Joe walking past them, And I told them, I was like, if I had $1, how many times they probably heard that. So I had to stop off at the ATM. I had to get $10. I gave them $10 and I took 5 candy bars. And I said, take the other 5 and get yourselves candy bars.
Dude, that's fantastic.
And I left, and the kid looked at me like, is this guy serious?
Way to sew it, man.
But I just
way to sew it.
That's who I am, man. I'd rather everybody. I want everybody to be happy, and if I can help with that, their piece of happiness, I will.
That's awesome. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Seriously, we're getting a very good idea and understanding of who you are and what your character is as a person, human being, and thank you for all your service for the city and for looking out for everybody and being passionate towards your community. As I sit here and listen to you speak and take all this in, it makes me think like, man, it's a big deal to run for city council.
It is.
Okay, like I looked at those 3 things that you said, and I see check mark, and I see check mark, and I see one more on there, and then I see who you are as a human being and then going into council. And it all seems very genuine and authentic. And that's what a lot of these folks in the community are, you know? And so it's interesting to me when I hear about people that are like, yeah, I want to run for council. Your goal is mayor, you know? And you know you've been a ground up guy forever. So you want to do it that way.
It's the only right way to do it.
Because then you know it from the ground up. Okay, thank you for that.
Thank
too.
you.
So that's not an easy thing to do. Okay,
No.
because people cut corners and stuff. They do these things all the time. But the folks that have been in the trenches and go from ground up, they've been through it. They've seen it. They still make mistakes, but that's the way to do it.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you've served, and I respect that. But I'm getting to my question. So my question is, what's it like when you do that? When you put your name out? How many council members are there?
There's 6, and then there's 3 of us running. So there's 6 incumbent, and then there's 3 of us running against.
So when you put your name out there to run for city council, okay, and you know there's an existing council group, and then you come in with these ideas and this excitement and this personality and this character, do you think that the rest of the council members receive that well, or do you think they're kind of like defensive of the new guy that wants to run? Do they view you as an opposition or as a potential team member?
That's a good question. I will tell you, I would hope that they think of me as another team member, and because I've known them for years, and I love each and every one of them in their own way. That there's been things so I would never talk bad about them, and I'm not saying that they don't do any of the ideas that I have. It's just I'm new blood.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just saying, because I want to know, that would be a little awkward.
And sometimes it is. But you think about it this way: when you go to a new police department as a brand new guy, it's awkward because there's cliques,
right?
And you have to kind of prove yourself to them and show that you can be part of their team. And so it's everything I've ever done in my life, I've had to prove myself to others. And when you finally do, it's a great feeling. And that's I'm going to go in and I'm going to prove to the ones who are remaining, whoever gets in, whoever's remaining, I'll work to prove my worth. I'll prove myself to them that I can do this, and then I have the right heart for it. Because you have to have heart for this. It can't be a political thing or just a job to you. I mean, it does pay a certain monetary value, but if that's significant to you, then you need to get out.
Yeah.
Because that's not what we're here for. I'm here for the city.
Yeah.
I mean, I miss IGA.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I miss the farmland that used to be. Oh yeah.
I haven't heard IGA in forever.
Oh,
that was the store, man.
The farmland that used to be where Kroger's is. I miss riding on the school bus past that. There's just things that I do miss. But like I said, development's inevitable. I don't want to go crazy on that, but it's inevitable. But if you have thoughtful development, maybe we can kind of still maintain that heart essence of independence and not lose it totally, because people come here to get some of the country value, some of the out of the city value,
the rural type stuff,
the rural stuff, exactly. And eventually, if things kept going and going and going, we're just going to be another Florence. And I don't think a lot of people want that. But like I said, it's not for me to decide. It's for the people to tell me what they want, and that's what I'm here for.
I love that. So when I look at that, and you say, I want the people to tell me what they want, that could be overwhelming. But how would you do that? How would you do that and not overwhelm yourself completely thin? Then prioritize all the stuff that they talk about.
I always overwhelm myself anyway.
Okay.
But so the biggest thing, like some of the easiest ways, this is a digital age.
Because we want to hear that, like what you said. I feel like as a representative of the community, we want to hear that. We want to hear that connection type thing and that passion, that heart, that desire. So, sorry, I just wanted to elaborate on that. But go ahead.
Just it's a digital world. I think some of the easiest ways to kind of get that out there and get that comfortability and get people talking is, let's start. I can establish a little bit of a talking group on social media or something, like make the website for the city a little bit more social friendly for people to kind of get on, and if they have an idea or if they have something, I don't want it to turn into part of my French, but a bitch fest.
Yeah.
But I would like it
Nobody
to be,
wants that to be like that.
Just have something that people, because the best ideas aren't always the people in charge. It might be the guy on the street that just bought a snow cones, walking up licking a snow cone, and be like, hey, why don't you do this? Boom. The greatest ideas, and you learn that in policing a lot, is the supervision. They'll tell you, everybody's a supervisor, they'll tell you the best idea isn't always theirs. It could be the new guy who just started a week ago. They have a different perspective, and they open it up. And when you open the floor up, you get better change. If you open the floor up for anybody to, you get ideas to where it can help. It can really help push forward your plans and development and stuff and things that people want. You've got to open the floor. The best ideas aren't always the ones in charge. So.
Okay. Well, before we run into a part two, we'll end with this. You think you could open that floor up, or do you truly not feel it's very open? What do you like? Yeah, I mean, I know there's all these opportunities to open floors. We all want to be heard.
Yeah.
People do. At least I think that. But that's my question.
Yeah. I truly think I can. I think that if I can get in there and I can start helping people and working on things with them and getting some social media, working on the page for the independents to kind of, help develop that a little bit. More people can get in there and start talking back and forth. That's going to bring comfortability. That's going to bring honesty and truthfulness. That's going to bring
some more diversity and stuff too. Yes. That's cool. Yeah. And I can see council welcoming stuff that. I know we go through times where it's like, okay, we're stuck in this, and it's kind of stayed there. So that's cool. I love that you've had a relationship with all of them as well too, because I always wondered what that's like. I'm not a political person, I'm like you. But I've always just wondered what that's like. Man, just the whole process of campaigning and running for something like that, that stresses me out. It just does.
And it's kind of hard.
I admire you, brother. It's wow.
And I don't want anybody to feel like I'm there trying to take anybody's place, because most of those council members,
that's not what
they hired me as a police officer.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying.
So I would never talk, and they each and every one of them know that I love them in different ways, and that I would never try to drag them down or anything.
No, not at all. Everybody's one.
And they know that
our community's great. Our city's fantastic. It's thriving.
And I think that they know.
Doing fantastic.
I think that they know what my intentions are, and they know where I want to go. So, heck, they already around town, people already call me Mayor Fehler every once in a while.
Dude, I'm gonna start calling you Mayor Fehler.
It's got a great ring to it. And the mayor, I've talked to the mayor.
What's Chris say about? What's the mayor say?
He's told me, I asked him at one of our
little Mayor Junior running around here, bub.
He knows. He told me one time, he's like, everywhere I see somebody, they're like, do you know Matt Fehler? When I was on policing, he said on several occasions, he's like, so you do know everybody, don't you? I was like, well,
buddy, that's a testament of who you are. Yeah. And how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you. And
that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you from the basement of a house. You'll hear it from kids. I see it in you. You carry the light. I joined the IBA with FocalFlip. I joined in there. You welcomed me with incredible arms, as well as the rest of the community, which has been amazing. That's just who you are, and I hope you do. I hope you get it.
I appreciate it, man.
I really do. I hope you get it. And I respect the council members so much. I think this community is absolutely thriving. I think it's difficult when in the area sometimes when you can only see names on the posters, and then you got to step into the booth and really, a lot of folks, it's like, well, what do they really do? Who are they? Yeah. And so thank you for doing this. It's it's not. It takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
But that's who you are as a person. You're just bubbly. That's who you carry yourself. I don't know how you don't. Maybe in this next episode, we're going to start getting into your mental health. So, but anyways, I'm grateful. We're going to cut this now and head to part 2. Is there any closing thoughts for part 1?
Just to let everybody know, council members that are there now, like I said, I just want to reiterate that, they're doing a hard job, and I think they're doing the best they can with it.
Very hard.
I just want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. That's gonna be cool. I can't wait. I look forward to hearing from you on Monday too.
Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. We'll run it back here in a little bit. Everybody hit like, hit subscribe. Still working with these cameras. Had one battery die right here. It hasn't happened in weeks. So we're going to do some good stuff. We're hitting some warfare. We're having a blast though. So we'll run this back in a minute. Matt, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. We'll hit you back and we'll do some shout outs and everything from there.
All right.
Till then, we're out.
All right, bud.
Okay, you ready to wrap this thing up?
If you like FocalFlip's videos, my dad's videos, go to YouTube, Spotify, and Apple, and like and subscribe to be updated.
I love it.